He's to be praised. He's worthy to be. But I've learned that everybody don't come into your party. Everybody don't shout and dance with you. So in order to keep things peaceful, you can't let everybody know every blessing that you get. But the sower went out to sow. And I stand here every Sunday morning and sow the word. So I deserve what BZ, is that his name? And Beyonce got. More than what they got. Because they're sowing hip-hop. And I'm sowing the word. So when God blesses me, I should be able to come in here and rejoice, and everybody rejoice with me. Hallelujah. Trying not to get excited, but I believe I can do an altar call right now. Because when you start thinking about the goodness of the Lord and all that he's done for you, there's some stuff that God has done for you that you never told nobody. You can't even share with some people. But God has blessed you in tremendous ways. But you are afraid to say anything for losing friendship. But you know, you ought to give God the glory and the praise. Don't matter what folks say. Don't matter what folks think. God is blessing you now. Sit down. I'm almost finished. Sit down. Don't miss this principle because I want you to start looking for it. Give me the verse in 8 maybe where he talks about blessing 30-fold, getting a return of 30-fold, then a 60-fold, then a 100-fold. That is a harvest principle. Just getting what you put out and getting it back is not a harvest principle. A harvest principle, and others fell on good ground. This is what happens when it falls on good ground. And I'll talk to you about good ground. And did yield fruit that sprang up and increased and brought forth some 30. What about 10? What about 20? Jesus skipped that because he don't want you walking just in abundance. God help me. But he wants you walking in super abundance. So therefore, I'm skipping 10-fold, 20-fold. I'm going to 30-fold. Then after I need 30-fold, it's 60-fold. And then a super abundance. Super abundance. I came that you have life, and that not just abundantly, but more than means super abundance. Everybody here should have another mindset when you leave here today. A super abundance mindset. You've been comfortable with just mediocrity all these years. But as long as you don't demonstrate and exercise your faith, you'll never get the superabundance. You'll never get the 30, 60, or 100-fold. Because you're afraid to get out the ship. Oh, you missed that. You're afraid to step out the boat. When Jesus says, Peter, come. And many times he's offered you 30 and 60 and 100-fold, but you stayed in the boat. You got to be willing to step out of the boat and leave mediocrity behind you. Leave those who want to stay right where they are. But when Jesus said, come, It means leave where you are. You can't get to the next level staying. You got to step out. You got to step out. You got to step out the boat to go to the next place. And only someone who's there already can invite you to come. Jesus is already walking on the water. He was already there. And because he was already there, he can invite you to come walk in the water. Come get some of what he's got. And so Peter stepped out. Forget what happened later, but he stepped out. He was willing to lead the mediocrity of everybody else. Because God's not calling everybody. But you got to know his hand is on you. And so when he says come, he really has no respect to persons. Anybody in that ship could have stepped out on faith.